welcome to today's video. Today I want to show you a trend pullback trade using only 2 time frames for this one. And I was able to profit around 86 pips on this trade with a total of 1.75 risk to reward. But most important, this is the kind of trade that we know when they appear, they have a high possibility to perform. While they don't appear every day, when they are there, this is the kind of trade that we know they're going to go in our direction. And this is also the kind of trade that your grandma, even your dog, should be able to see it. So let's go ahead and get into the details of it. Hi, my name is Mariana, and you might recognize me from my videos with Naveen. I am the host of the New York session in the elite community, and I'm also a member of the UF of the Urban Forex company. Wait, let me put this one down. So today I want to cover this specific trade that I was looking together with the students, also from the elite community. And I'm going to be mentioning here about 3 topics that we're going to be watching to understand when can we find a trade, a kind of a trend pullback trade that we can do using only 2 time frames to do all our analysis. So let's go ahead and get into the details of it. So this is the trade that I have taken here. We are watching right now Euro-Yen from the 15 minutes time frame, and this is the trade that I was talking about. I took a trade around those prices here, stop loss right here, and take a profit around those prices there. But let me explain you all the details behind it and how I was able to identify that this trade was going to go in my direction. On the previous videos that we have discussed here, I talked about, or I brought some examples. We were able to take trades doing a top-down analysis. So that means that I was observing multiple time frames in order to be able to take a trade on a lower time frame. And sometimes this is the case. Sometimes I am going to need to take a deeper look on other time frames, higher time frames, in order for me to be able to understand I have a high quality trade opportunity coming. But for this one, I was able to take this trade observing only 2 time frames. But there are a few concepts that are very important to mention when I want to take a trade using only 2 time frames, because it's not every trade that I'm able to take or using only 2 time frames, especially when you're talking about a trend pullback trade. So I'm going to start my analysis here from the 1 hour. And what actually did I see here on the 1 hour that made me very interested in this specific trade? First topic that we're going to be discussing is about the EMAs. For here, when I just look at the charts, I can see we have 3 EMAs. I have the 20 EMAs, I have the 50 EMAs, and I have the 200 EMAs. Those EMAs are quite helpful to understand the overall direction of the market. For this one, I can see that all the EMAs, they are pointing up, which tells me the overall direction, it's this one. It's to the upside, it's to the buy side. So we have more a bullish pressure here on those watching this chart, specifically Euro-Yen from the 1 hour. And this is one of the topics that I wanted to discuss about. Whenever I look at the charts and I'm able to identify that I have the EMAs, all those 3 EMAs pointing in one direction, that's when I know the pressure is here, and I might be able to do a trend pullback trade based on 2 time frames. But it's not only that, there are other topics that I need to cover that are also very important in order for me to stick to those 2 time frames to know that I'm going to have a high possibility trade here coming. So first point, when I look at the charts right here, I'm able to identify I have the 20, the 50, and the 200 EMAs all pointing up, and that tells me that we have a bullish power in this specific pair. Whenever I see some kind of a breach, so let's say, for example, a breach is usually when we are able to identify that we have any kind of a condition and we have a push to one direction. So in this case, we have a condition here, we have a breach or this breakout to the upside, and that's what we call a breach in Urban Forex. So whenever I'm able to identify that we have a breach, I always look to the left to see, do I have something there? Do I have someone that is going to cause me some trouble if I decide to take this trade? And the EMAs, they are very helpful to look for that. For example, here, I can see that I have this small range right there, and I have a breach of this range to the upside. while we do have a congestion and we have a breach, the EMAs, they are not all pointing to this direction. So this is not a trade that I know I'm capable to trade only based on the 1 hour and the second time frame, which I'm still going to talk about. So this is not the kind of trade that I'm able to do using only 2 time frames. Why is that? Because I can see that to the left, I have something else that I need to investigate. That's when I do the concept that we discussed in the other videos as a top-down analysis. But that's not the case. That's what we got right here. As I see, this breach here came. This is my congestion, and I can see this breach here looking quite strong with all the EMAs here pointing up. So I don't need to look any further to be able to take this trade specifically. The second concept, the momentum that I like to observe when I'm able to take a trade based only on 2 time frames is that I want to see the momentum on this time frame where I can see the breach coming. The momentum here, it's looking very strong. So the momentum needs to be, like I said before, even your dog should look at it and should be able to identify we have a breach. We have buyers here. This is the kind of trade that also tells me I think I'm going to be able to take a trade based on the 2 time frames. That's enough. If the momentum here, it's looking so strong that all I can see here, it's a very big green candle telling me that buyer's pressure here, it's very strong. If I see something, for example, let me try to get an example here. I'm going to scroll a little bit more here to the left to get you an example of a breach that we had where the breach looking only this time frame, it's not as clear as this breach that I can see here. And right here, a little bit more to the left, we can see a clear example of here we have a congestion. And here we can see that this breach, after this congestion, it's not looking that strong. We do have a congestion here. We do have a breach here, but look at the power of this breach. Very small candles. They're all green, but we can see that the demand from those prices, it's not that high. And for this one here, I can see the demand for this price here, it's very high. No questions about it. But most important for the second concept is the momentum. It's so strong that even your dog, even your grandma, anyone in your house can see and can identify we definitely have buyers or sellers here. And this third concept is correlation. On the same day, when I looked at all of the yens, I can identify we have a congestion here and we have a breach of this congestion to the upside. No questions about how strong those buyers are looking. I can see the EMAs here are also pointing up. From New Zealand yen, I can see the same thing. We have a congestion there and we have also a breach to the upside from this congestion. I have no doubt that we have also demand coming from New Zealand yen. Same here for Euro yen. This is the pair that I was observing on this day. Same here with pound yen, we have strong demand. We have all the EMAs also pointing up. Same goes here with US dollar yen and CAD yen. So while we're observing the yen group, you can see that all of them have the yen as a common currency, all of them. And when I observe all of the yens here together go in this direction, this is a clear sign to me that the bigger investors, they are also interested to go in this direction. That's when I know I can take a trend pullback trade with confidence based only on 2 time frames, because on the 1 hour I have a clear demand, no question asked. I have no one here to the left that is going to interfere with my trade, and I have all of the yens saying that the yens are getting weaker and the bigger boys, they are interested also to go with yen weakness. So here you can clearly see this was a day when I was observing also Euro yen buy together with the students from the elite community, and you can see this was on February 24th as I'm the host from the New York session. Every day around New York opened, we have a call together with the students to discuss about the trade that I'm observing for that day. And on this day, I was observing Euro yen to do a buy because I was able to see that we got yen weakness. I had those 2 scenarios in mind. I have either I'm expecting to get something like this. We are going to get the sellers, they're coming, the sellers slowing down, and buyers taking from there. Or I'm going to see that price is going to go a little bit lower, it's going to spike it, and it's going to continue from there. So I had those two scenarios in mind, and I was observing specifically how price was behaving around the time that I was observing the charts. Would it be this green scenario or the orange scenario? So going back here to the 1 hour, why the 1 hour? The 1 hour, because that's where I can clearly identify the congestion and the demand, the breach or the breakout of this congestion. So based on that, because I can see this demand very clear from the 1 hour, I'm going to go just one time frame lower, just one, not necessarily to go any further than that. And from this time frame, which means the 15, so let's say that if I'm observing this breach here from the 1 hour, then I'm going just one time frame lower to look for the moment when I have a discount coming, where I have a pullback coming. As the name already says, this is a trend pullback trade. Once I identify that I have a trend, then I'm going to look for when do I have my pullback. So on the 15, let's say if I identify the trend on the 1 hour, then I go one time frame lower, in this case to the 15 minutes, and on the 15 minutes, that's when I want to read more the details of the pullback. Now going to the 15 minutes, what I need to observe is I want to see basically two things. I want to see on the 15 minutes that whoever is bringing the pullback, in this case the sellers, that I want to see they're bringing a good discount, but they're not coming so strong. So that's very important. I need to have a pullback, but how is this pullback coming? I need to see that whenever the sellers are coming, they're not coming so strong. And this is the first thing that I need to observe. The second thing that I need to observe is I need to see that my big boy, this guy that I was looking in from the 1 hour that look interested on those prices, I need to see that he's also interested in that specific price. So we can see here from the 50 minutes. Let's read the story. Let's understand what is happening here from the 15. Pullback started the way that the pullback's still looking strong. I can see the sellers, they're offering discount here quite aggressive. Okay, from this moment, I can identify the buyers, they're also interested in this specific price. Okay, that's good. Let me see if they're going to continue to show interest in those prices. Sellers offering this much discount. After that, the buyers are not looking so strong. They showed some interest here, but they're not showing some interest there. Well, if I'm a buyer, actually, if I see this amount of discount that has been offered and I see how strong they're coming here, as a buyer, what do I think now? Maybe they're going to offer more. And this is exactly what happened. The buyers, they're not so interested there, and the sellers continue to offer discount. The sellers continue to offer discount, but we can see they're not offering any more than this. So this was one of the scenarios that I was expecting to get. The sellers are coming, the sellers are slowing down, and I'm going to see the buyers taking that discount. Look at how strong is this guy. He's looking very strong. I need to clearly identify that same guy who looked so aggressive, so desperate to buy those prices, that he's looking to buy again. I'm not so confident that he's looking to buy again there. He's not looking that strong. Time of day here, also not looking the best. This was around the beginning of the Asia session. We didn't have any news there. So buyers not looking so strong. Time of day also not looking the best one. I have some questions about this trade. Let's continue to observe it. So the first scenario that I had in mind was sellers are going to stop giving discount slowly, and we're going to see the buyers taking that discount. This scenario did not happen. What was the second scenario? If you don't remember, go back to watch the scenarios that I showed you from the elite community that I shared, posts that I shared from there, and take a look at those two scenarios that I was observing. The second scenario, I was expecting to get a spike of whatever range that we have here. I see initially that, okay, sellers are like, they're testing the waters. They're looking for, let me see when the buyers are going to take it again. But the buyers are not interested yet. So they had to offer more. They offered a little bit more, this much more. Buyers are still not looking interested. They offered a little bit more. You see that they're not offering so much more. They are offering a little bit more than before. Buyers not interested offered a little bit more than before, and now we have the buyers back. All this time, we can clearly see the sellers are coming, the sellers are slowing down. Here, they were slowing down before. Here, they're looking a little bit aggressive. Why is that? They're searching for buyers. They haven't found the buyers yet. They're still searching for buyers. Okay, they found the buyers now. Now that we have the sellers showing all the time that they were just searching for buyers, how do I identify that? Because of the strength from the sellers. They're not coming so aggressive like this. They're coming, but slowly, testing. Finally, they found those buyers. Anywhere that you're able to take a trade after that, after we can see the sellers were coming, the sellers were slowing down, the buyers have taken this price, that's when you know, now whenever I enter this trade, I know that it's going to perform in my favor. And this only observing those 2 time frames. So from the 1 hour, I'm able to see that I have a clear demand, and from the 15 minutes, just 1 time frame lower, that's when I can identify the story. And what is the story that I need to identify? I have opposite party, in this case the sellers, coming, offering a good discount but not so aggressive. And the second point is I can identify that my big boy, the big guy who took this much from those prices, that he's back and he's interested again to continue buying that specific product. And this product that we're talking about is Euro Yen. So after we got those buyers, they're coming so strong like this, we can expect we're still going to have some reaction coming from those prices. This is also what we call in a messaging price section 2.0 a money spot. So when we had the sellers showing us that they were just testing, just looking for the moment when the buyers, they would look that they would take that price, they would show interest again. Here we can see the buyers are definitely interested. And when we get to those prices here where some discount has been offered, we as buyers, we can now look for, just give me a little bit more. I'm not going to buy so much from there, and I'm going to buy it again. And this is what Naveen likes to call the money spot. This is a money spot because it's an area where buyers and sellers are interested. But now that we read the whole story, we understand that this money spot should perform to the upside. So inside of this money spot, I took a trade around the bottom of the money spot with my stop loss here below what we call the V formation, or below the area where I can identify my buyers are interested in this price. And if I see that price is going below that, that means that buyers are no longer interested. So this is a reasonable area to put my stop loss. So entry here around the bottom of the money spot, stop loss here below the area where I can identify my buyers got back and they're interested in this price. And going further, I want to see the moment when the buyers there, they come and they start to slow down. They start to slow down their momentum. We see like another range forming, which now it's questionable if the buyers, they were looking strong in here and looking like they start to slow down. Is this price still good enough for them to continue going? I don't know. And for this reason, when I see that the buyers are coming and they start to slow down, that's when I look to close my trade. And that's how I was able to take this trend pullback trade, only 2 time frames rule. And that's how I secured also 1.75 risk to reward with a total of 86 pips. Hope you enjoyed this analysis, and if you have any questions, please let us know. If you want to know more about it, please look in the link below to join us in our journey at Urban Forex. See you. Bye-bye.